Hey everyone, today we are going to cut through all the hype, all the noise, and get to the real story of artificial intelligence. We're going to break down how we got here, and maybe more importantly, where this is all headed. And to really get it, we need to start with a pretty simple question.
So let's just start right here. You look around and you see all this amazing technology. A huge robotic arm in a factory, a little Roomba zipping around your floor, and then something like ChatGPT that can write a poem. Are they all the same thing? Are they all AI? Well, the answer is a little more complicated than you might think, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly why.
To really get a handle on what's happening right now with this AI revolution, we can't just look at today. We've got to go back. We have to trace the story of how machines even started to think in the first place.
Okay, so first things first, what are we even talking about when we say AI? Let's just put a really simple definition on the table. All it is computers doing stuff that, until pretty recently, you needed a human brain for. Things like seeing and recognizing a face, making a tough decision, creating a piece of art, or predicting what's going to happen next. That's the core idea. Everything else we talk about is just a different way of making that happen.
The story of AI, it kind of breaks down into three big chapters. We started off in what I like to call the Stone Age, with these things called expert systems. Then we moved into the machine learning revolution. And finally, we hit this massive turning point that we're living through right now, the transformer explosion.
So here's the big difference, right? It all comes down to how we taught these computers. In that first era, the rules era, we had to hand code everything. I mean, literally. Programmers wrote millions of lines of code saying, if this happens, then do that. It was incredibly slow, and if anything unexpected happened, the whole system would break. But then came this huge shift. Instead of giving the computer rules, we started giving it examples. We'd show it, say, 10,000 pictures labeled cat, and eventually, the machine just figured out what a cat looks like on its own.
But man, those early systems, they were so limited. This quote just nails the problem perfectly. It's describing a medical AI from way back in 1976 called Mycin. And get this, it was actually better than junior doctors at diagnosing certain blood infections. An incredible achievement. But if you asked it about a common cold, it was totally useless. It was a hyper-specialist. It was like hiring a world-class chef who could only make scrambled eggs. And for decades, AI was basically stuck in that specialist box. Each AI could do its one little thing really well, and that was it. But then, 2017 happened. A team at Google published a research paper with a kind of a silly title, "Attention is all you need." But the idea inside, it changed the world. It introduced something called the transformer, and this new architecture finally gave AI the one thing it was desperately missing: a real understanding of context. And check this out. This slide shows you that leap perfectly. Before Transformers, if an AI saw the word bank, it had no idea if you were talking about a river bank or a financial bank. The word was just a word. But after Transformers, the AI could pay attention to the other words in the sentence. It could see the context and understand, oh, river is next to bank, so it's a place to sit, or money is in the sentence, so it's a place to do business. This was the key that unlocked absolutely everything.
And that breakthrough, it leads us straight to this moment right here, November 30th, 2022. A company called OpenAI puts a super simple chat window on top of its powerful transformer model and just releases it to the world for free. And all of a sudden, you didn't need to be a programmer to use powerful AI. You could just talk to it. It felt like texting a really, really smart friend.
And the world definitely noticed. In just its first 2 months, ChatGPT hit 100 million active users. That is just a staggering number.
And to put that into perspective, look at this. It took Instagram 2.5 years to get to that same 100 million user milestone. ChatGPT did it in 2 months. I mean, this wasn't just another app getting popular. This was a full-on global phenomenon, the fastest adoption of any technology in history.
So with this huge explosion of interest, it also created a ton of confusion, right? People started seeing videos of those cool Boston Dynamics robots or the arms in a Tesla factory, and they just kind of lumped it all together under the AI banner. So let's clear that up right now.
The easiest way to think about it is this. The robot is the body. The AI is the brain. A robot is the physical hardware. The arms, the legs, the wheels that can actually move and do stuff in the real world. The AI is the software, the intelligence that tells that body what to do. They're two different things. You can absolutely have a robot body with no AI brain, and you can have an AI brain, like ChatGPT, with no robot body.
And this table breaks it down even better. At level 1, you've got your basic programmed robot, like an old factory arm. It's got zero intelligence. It just does the same exact motion over and over. At level 2, you have a robot with some basic AI, like a Roomba. It can sense a wall and turn around, so it reacts to things, but it's not really learning. But then you get to level 3. That's an AI-powered robot, like a modern factory arm that can see a part, decide how to pick it up, and learn a better way to do it next time. That's the body and the brain working together.
So here's the bottom line, and I love this analogy. A lot of the time, we see a super advanced robot and we think we're looking at Iron Man, but we're not. We're just looking at the suit, the impressive hardware. The real genius, the real intelligence making all the decisions is Tony Stark. He's the AI inside the suit, and he could be controlling it from halfway around the world.
But here's the thing. As mind-blowing as all this feels right now, we've got to remember where we are in this story. This quote just frames it perfectly. We're in the AOL dial-up phase of AI. As amazing as ChatGPT is, it's version 1. In 10 years, we are going to look back at the AI of today and think it was incredibly slow and primitive.
All right, so let's tie this all together. Here's the whole journey in a nutshell. Before 2017, AI was a specialist, that chef who could only cook eggs. After the Transformer was invented, AI became a generalist, able to learn and do many different things. And after ChatGPT came out, that powerful generalist AI became accessible to literally anyone with an internet connection. Specialist to generalist to accessible, that's the whole story.
And all of this brings us to one final, and I think really crucial question. The whole conversation is starting to shift. It's not really about fearing a robot body coming to take your job anymore. It's about understanding that the AI brain, that software, is a tool. It might just be the most powerful tool for thinking ever created. So the real question we should be asking isn't, will AI replace me? The real question is, how do I become the person who uses AI to do 10 times more? Because the people who figure that out, well, they're the ones who are going to build the future.